Hello. I want to share with you a couple techniques that I use to get into a creative flow. So this is how to get into a creative flow using essential oils. My name is Sophia Ferrari. I am an artist and an aromatherapist. I've been studying aromatherapy for over 20 years, and I'm happy to share just this tiny little technique. And hopefully this will do the trick for you like it did for me. And it is I use this when I'm feeling stuck or uninspired or blocked, unmotivated, or even unworthy of creating, because maybe I feel like I need to do something perfectly or it needs to look a certain way. And to get out of that mindset that's actually stopping me from creating, here's a couple little tricks. And hopefully this does this for you too. Hopefully you can experience a new relationship with your art and with your creativity. Oh, look at this. How to get into creative flow with essential oils, oil protocols, methods of getting into the flow. So the oils themselves help to release conscious, but mostly a lot of the unconscious emotions like unworthiness, perfections that kind of stop us and no longer serve us and stop us from getting into our creativity. An oil protocol is really just a formula for using essential oils with a specific outcome in mind. So this is a really simple formula that I'm going to go over. The drawing technique and the oils allow our autonomic nervous system to take over and our body to reestablish peace and tranquility. So the materials that you're going to need are these essential oils: tea tree, cypress, and wild orange. And if you only have a couple, that's fine. And if you don't have any, I'd stick around anyhow. Get your paper and pen or pencils, whatever you like to draw with. Here are some intros with the oils. So the first thing that we're going to do is you can use, okay, as the aromatherapist here, I'd like to make sure that everybody is aware that not all essential oils work the same way. And over 90% of essential oils on the market worldwide are either adulterated, which is the most common, that's 80%, and the other 10% to make up the 90 are contaminated. And what that means, the adulteration, is when they are cut with another solvent, substance, chemical, even another oil to stretch it so that there's more profit. This, of course, happens with olive oil and a bunch of other stuff too, but it is super common with essential oils because it's an unregulated industry currently. Hopefully one day it'll be regulated. So the reason I'm saying this is for a couple of reasons. First of all is for your own safety. So if you bought an essential oil from a company that you don't know if they do testing, which over the majority of companies out there don't bother doing testing because it's very expensive to do, and then you don't know what's in the bottle. And it could be something that is not friendly for you to use, and it could cause skin irritations, all sorts of weird stuff. The other thing is it's not going to be as effective if it's fake. And the majority of oils out there are fake, unfortunately. So yeah. What I recommend is checking the company, going onto their website and making sure that they have third-party testing for each batch of essential oil. This is pretty rare to find. I will link below the oils I use because every single bottle is tested, and I really love that. There's a reason why I use these. So I digress. Let's go back to the oils. So the first one I'd like to introduce to you is tea tree. Tea tree is also known as melaleuca. You can also use manuka, and there's other useful oils for the purpose of clearing out the junk, right? So what you can do is you can use a diluted version or an undiluted version. You can put a drop the top of your head, depending on the quality of the oil you have. If you don't know what it is, dilute it just for your safety. In the back of your neck and on your wrist creases. Now, in my workshops, I talk about a little bit more why the certain locations and why the oils, and we actually use a few more. But tea tree is the oil of energetic boundaries, and it helps to clear out the junk. The next one is cypress. Now, if you have this one, this is the oil of flow, motion and flow, and it gets things going. It gets things into a manifestation mode. So you want to put a drop or less on the top of the shoulders. And wild orange. This is the oil of abundance, generosity, and creativity. Now, what I like to do with this one is put a drop in the palm of my hand. And you can pause this video and just breathe this in for 1 minute to 3 minutes. This is to get us into a joyful mode so that we can feel creative. Here you should be able to see my sketch pad here. And I'm just going to use, actually, I'm going to use a brush pen so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. You can use any kind of pen or pencil. And what we're going to do, this practice actually allows us to experience really new ways of seeing, allows us to let go of perfection, self-critical thoughts, preconceived notions about what stuff is supposed to look like, especially when we're creating, and be in a space of receptivity to see beauty so we can feel more kind towards ourselves and feel peaceful acceptance towards ourselves. That's all of the drawings on there are mine. So gather your materials, your pen, several pieces of paper, and a drawing object. So what we're going to do is blind contour drawing. If you've been to art school, you already know this technique. It is taught usually in illustration classes as a warm-up technique. And if you're just starting out, what you want to do is maybe draw something really simple, such as, you know, your cup of coffee or your glass of water in front of you. This one's nice and warm. I love it. Or you can draw, maybe you have a pair of glasses in front of you, or the bottle of essential oil that you have in front of you. It doesn't really matter. You can draw whatever you want, but draw something fairly simple to start with if you haven't done blind contour drawing before, and then move on to something that has more complexity to it, such as your other hand, somebody else that might be sitting in front of you, anything that you like. So blind contour drawing, it means blind because you are never looking at your piece of paper. You are only looking at the object or the person. Do not use a two-dimensional object to do blind contour drawing. It kind of defeats the purpose. You want your eye to be able to see the full 3 dimensions, and it adds to the observation. I would recommend, well, this is what I do for my workshops, to do a minimum of 5 practices. And then, of course, I have other workshops and that go into more depth. So here we are. I am going to just draw my mug here. And what I'm going to do is draw the outline without looking at the piece of paper. My arm is in the way here, so I'll move on top. Okay. And if your piece of paper is loose, maybe you can put something a little bit with a bit of weight on it so it doesn't move around while you're drawing. So you're going to keep your pen on the piece of paper and not lift it, because if you lift it, then you don't know where you are. But if you can, if you want, you can lift it. It's really up to you. And what I do is I draw the contour, and maybe you want to draw other edges or reflections, other things that you notice. See, it's really simple, nothing complex. Maybe I'll draw something a little more challenging. Look at the object and not the piece of paper, and you will notice little things that your subconscious probably picked up on, like the reflection, the way the light is reflecting on it, that your conscious mind starts to notice a little bit more. What I also love about this process is it really allows you to be in the moment and just enjoy it. We're not worried about what it looks like. I mean, that doesn't look like glasses at all. This barely looks like a cup either. All right, let's draw this bottle. Good. And as we're doing this, we're not worrying about what we're drawing. We're just doing it. And it's kind of hilarious and it's fun. There, that last one probably looked the most like a scribble, but you know, none of it really looks like the real thing. It's kind of abstract, it's fun, and it gets you not only warmed up, but it gets you in the moment and it allows you to actually start the process, and it allows you to stop thinking about what something is supposed to look like and just draw what's in front of you. I hope this was helpful. And if you did enjoy it, subscribe. And if you want to dive deeper, then check out the links below for the workshops that are available. Have a wonderful day.